Before the video gets started, I would like to make an announcement to the whole channel as a whole. So if you click on this video just for the Gravedigger guide, I suggest you skip a couple seconds forward because I need to get something out to the subscribers that have subscribed before this video has come out. I will no longer be doing Forsaken content because the game has just gotten boring to me. The last time I played Forsaken was a month ago. Maybe like some off days I'll make some Forsaken content, but this channel will be moving in a different direction to a different game of which I enjoy a lot more than Forsaken. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So you do the tutorial, right? And you are now a Soldat with your Prince and your Grace. This is the only two things you have. And I do think you get a free medal. You can use it however you want. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure it's something you enjoy. Now, since you are now in the game, the tutorial doesn't actually tell you much. It tells you how to shoot, tells you how to heal yourself. That's really about it. It also tells you about caches. Just know that these little caches, and if it highlights, you can pick up ammo from here. You can pick up your guns. You can pick up basically almost anything that you have wasted away, like syringes and things like that. Let me just talk about the essentials first, and then I'll get into classes. Now, obviously, you have your gun. It will be used for leaning against, walls. If you press F, it will switch lanes. So make sure if you're leaning behind cover, you're leaning the right way, not the wrong way. Quite simple. R to reload, obviously. If you press R and you press T, you will drop your gun. Remember that. Very, very important. Because if you press R and then press T, you're gunless if you're not using Soldat without a revolver. Now, the only reason why that's in the game, if you're reloading, right, and there's an enemy on you, basically what you want to do is when you reload, you drop your gun, and you pull out your secondary, and you pop. Because there is no reload cancel in this game. The only reload cancel that's technically called a reload cancel is dropping your gun. So, remember that. That's about it for the guns. Combat knife, nothing really to talk about. Just know that if you are behind an opponent and you hit him with a combat knife, it will instantly kill him, with not including the Dread, because Dread is immune to melee. And from the front, it takes 4 stabs, I think. No, it takes 3 stabs for a regular person, 4 stabs for a shock, and if you have Butcher, 2 stabs, and then 1, 2, 3 stabs from the front. Also, by the way, Trench Mace and Combat Knife, they have no difference. Just know that the Trench Mace and the Combat Knife, the only difference they have is kill animation. Mining Pick. Now, you're obviously told pressing left mouse button, just regular mine. Now, there is something they didn't tell you, though. If you mine, boom, big hole. But if you aim and then mine, small hole. See, there's a big difference here. Just use this if you're trying to sneak into something. It's a very interesting move. Medkit. A couple things with the medkit. Pressing T will show you your injury status and how your bloodstream is. I'll talk about bloodstream when I get to Mort and class, evaluation. Next, left mouse button to heal. If you want to heal your teammate, let's say they're severely injured, you're right next to them. Aim, left mouse button, you'll heal them in like 2 seconds. Alright, it's a lot faster than somebody just healing themselves. So if somebody's injured, make sure you heal them. That is very important. If you have the time, obviously, and if you're not getting, bombarded by enemies. If you are sick, let's say you have pox. Detect this, you have pox. Press Q, and it will get rid of the sickness. So if you're like, if your entire screen is gray, just know that you are sick. Holding Q will just make you unsick. And sickness is a big debuff, so remember that. Because if you get sick, your recoil will be way higher, and you lose your regenerative properties. So let's say you heal, right? You don't heal to full, you heal to moderately injured, meaning that you have to regen back to full HP, and I think sickness stops that, so remember that. Last thing I want to talk about, pressing V, first person. Cool. If you press E, you get a scroll wheel of different commands you can ask for your teammates. Everybody sees this. Everybody in, a general area of you will see you hitting this, and they will get this text on their screen. Support. If you need support, do this. If somebody is shooting you from a rock up here, and your allies don't know, danger there. They will then look, and they will help you out. Request ammo. If you need ammo from a Soldat, by the way, if you press G, hold G, it will throw out an ammo patch. Somebody asks for ammo. Please do this. Privates, I beg of you, because people keep complaining about that. Okay, you can also give yourself ammo. So if you're a soldat and you're asking for ammo, you're selling. Okay. Requesting medic. If you're injured, you can request for somebody to come over. Either a Mort or just a regular player. They will heal you faster than you will heal yourself unless you're using chemist. Thank you. If you get an ammo pouch, if you get healed by a Mort, if you get healed by anybody in general, if you get hit by a vial from Mort, hit a thank you. It will boost morale. Morale boosting is very important. Morale basically makes you faster in everything you do. So always make sure to thank your allies for if they give you an ammo pouch or something like that. That's about it for the essentials. I'm going to go quickly through classes. Very, very quick through classes. Now, classes. Every single class has a couple of differences to them. So they're all different. Every single thing is different. Except for guns and combat knife. So only difference between mining pick is with Rook. I'll talk about that later. And first aid pouch, Mortician. You always have your combat experience, your equipment, and your perk slot. Now for Soldat, they're the Joe Schmoes, meaning that they are the regular soldiers. They can do faster weapon handling and better accuracy. Ammo pouch, like I told you before, press G, throw it to an ally. Or you can throw it to yourself if you're low on ammo. Rooks are the builders, meaning that they can build defenses and build ammo caches. You have a construct hammer, one of the most important things about Rooks. Barricades, barbed wires, palisades, sandbags, caches, whatever of those 5 that you need, you can place it down. Palisades are basically just a smaller barricade. Remember that. You press Q, you press R to cycle through all of them. And then basically all you gotta do is just press your left mouse button and then hit it with the hammer and boom, it appears. Quite simple. Mining bomb launcher, press G. It's a grenade launcher, meaning that you can shoot it at rocks and it will blow up immediately. You don't have to get up and close with your pickaxe. This is also decent at getting people out of corners. Now the only thing about this is that it cannot kill somebody unless you are using survivalist. So, you pull out your grenade launcher, you shoot somebody like 3 times, it will not kill them because everybody in this game has 200 HP. Remember that, 200 HP. So, this does 60 damage per bomb, meaning that you cannot kill somebody unless you're using survivalist. It will give you 2 extra bombs because you get 3 mining bombs. Heavy pick. Better pickaxe. You do bigger holes and it will mine faster. And another cool thing about it is that it has a sharpness meter. Once it hits 0, it becomes a regular pickaxe. You can press R to sharpen it. You can get your sharpening stones back at caches. It's also a melee weapon technically. It 3 shots regular people, 4 shots shocks. It can also take off helmets and headshot people, meaning you can actually 2-shot, so which is pretty cool. And also the fact is regular mining picks can also be used to hit people, but it's not recommended because it does really low damage. Morticians are the healers. Now, a special interaction with the medkit is that if you heal somebody with a medkit, instead of healing them to half HP, it will heal them to full. You have your vials, meaning that you can give buffs to your teammates. If you want to see what a buff does, press Q to see all the simulants and click on one. Press T, it will tell you what it does, and you can put 100 U of chemicals into a vial, but the problem is only 30 U of chemicals can be put into a soldier. Basically, you spin it, you throw it on the ground, it does a whole splash radius. It's like a splash potion from Minecraft, but there is a limit on how much buffs you can give to your teammates. There is one debuff that is to be thrown to the enemies, which is the skull. Don't throw that on yourself. It is literal sickness. Do not do that. Syringes, very simple. Press G, throw it to somebody, it will heal them to light pain, which means that it is less than healthy. It won't heal them to full, it will heal them to the stage below full HP. So if you have the time, you should probably do it with the first aid pouch. Again, let me tell you something. If you are more, it will be a lot faster to heal somebody with a med kit. So just know that. Officers are the support of the group. Let me talk about helmets real quick. Morticians have helmets. Rooks have helmets. Soldats have helmets. Every single class except for Officer has a helmet. Unless you deliberately want to go something like Vanguard, go into cosmetics and take off your helmet. That is a stupid idea. Because look, if you have your helmet off, you get one tapped by anything if they hit the head. So be warned, if you're an officer, you will probably be getting headshotted most of the time. So Not good, not good. They are the support class. Full support. They need their team around them. So, you have your binoculars. Hold it out, press Q, do a little point. It's kind of like the danger signal. If you have your binoculars out, press R, it will do a telescope. To look at somebody with the telescope with the binoculars, it will mark them, giving you basically wall hacks, except that it's just a little dot on the top of their head. Press T to fire a flare. Any enemy near the flare will be illuminated, meaning that they also get the dot on their head. Everybody can see the dot. And if they get too close to the flare, they're still burning up. They only get 2 flares, and to get more flares, you have to go to the caches. Trench whistles. Another simple thing. Press G. Basically, what it does, you get 3 orders. You press Q, you can swap between the orders. 1, faster sprinting. 2, better defense. 3, better precision. That's about it for officer. Jaegers are trappists, meaning that they're horrible people. They like to trap things. Very good for defense. Underkit. You get a bunch of traps you can place down. Let's say you're using either a tin bomb, gas shell, or a shot shell. If you place it down, oh yeah, by the way, just place it down. If you press R to cycle through everything, just remember that. You can place down your trap, your shot shell. Let's say it's a shot shell. You place it down, you hold left click, right click, you place down the trap. It will be a tripwire. Anybody who walks through it will get injured or will die, so know that. The only things that cannot be attached to tripwires are dynamite, lantern lords, or man traps. Man traps are basically bear traps. I think you all know how a bear trap works. Dynamite, you shoot it, it blows people up. It can also blow up rocks. Lantern lore, you shoot it from afar, it will do a whole big fiery explosion, burning up people. Next thing, smoke screen bomb. It is a smoke grenade, but instead of being a regular smoke grenade, if any enemy or you stand in it for too long, they will get sick. And like I told you before, hold Q to get unsick because it is a major debuff. Another cool thing about Lancer, they have 50% melee damage reduction, meaning that if you are meleeing a Lancer, you better, melee them from the back, because if you hit them from the front, they will actually take less damage than a regular person. They also have unpenetrable helmets, meaning that you cannot shoot off their helmets. Unlike everybody, you can shoot off their helmet and then shoot their head and they will die immediately. That is not the case for Lancer. Vanguard, last class in the game. You get a shield and you get a secondary holster. If you use Survivalist, you can use this holster to get a rifle. Just know that. But Bulwark is it's just like the protector of the group. You have your shield. So, first off, when you have your shield, it will be unfolded, meaning that it won't protect your body fully. But in this state, you can actually pull out your gun and you can actually, hit people with it. I think I'm going to do this one as actually, in-game so I can actually show it better. Because it's very hard to, tell people about it. Basically, you have your shield, right? It's not fully out. If I had a pistol, I would be able to aim with it and shoot people. Now, if you press Q, fully extend, meaning that your entire body is covered except for your feet. But if you crouch and you look up, then your entire body is basically covered, meaning that you cannot be shot. Your allies can shoot through your shield while in full guard, but if you press R and place the shield down, you can no longer shoot through it. You can pick it up just regularly. That's about it for the regular shield mechanics, except for the fact that if any of the plates get shot off, like the sides or the top, pressing T can repair the shield. Just know that. Then pressing G will do a little smack of the shield, will give morale to your allies and yourself. And then Bulwark's banner, place it down, it will give a radius of hope to anybody near it. Just pretty cool. So place this down whenever you realistically can, and that's about it for Bulwark. Now there is a special interaction with his helmet. Let's say you are using let me go over here. Let's say you're using the Judgment, right? Judgment Breach. Go over to the damage range all the way down. It will say powerful penetration power. Now, this is powerful to any of the classics except for Lancer, because Lancer, you can't shoot off the helmet. But since it's powerful, it will shoot through a helmet. Let's say Jaeger, right? If you shoot the Judgment onto a Jaeger's helmet, it will pierce through at close range and immediately kill him. Now, if you shoot a bolt... Actually, wait, I think it is still the same with the powerful, but... No, I need to explain it better. Let's say, Honor Duty Pistol. No. Grace. Decent. Since Bulwark's rework, what they have done is basically If the penetration power is decent, it will be moved down to a lower penetration power for the gun. So if you shoot it with the Grace, instead of it being decent penetration power, it will be weak penetration power. Just remember that. Now, next important thing, shock kits. Basically, shock kits, if you have ever heard of it in game, are power-ups. So, if you see, I'm gonna show it a little bit later, but I'll just like explain every single shock kit that you see here. These are all the different shock kits, and they all correlate to a different class. Let's say I'm Soldat, I'm supposed to be picking this one because it gives me better synergy. Basically, synergy buffs up the power-up, but you can be a Rook and you can pick Storm, but it would just be a little bit weaker than Storm Soldat. Remember that. But if you're a private, it doesn't really matter because they automatically pick the kit that synergizes with you until you become a private first class. So, Storm. Basically, you get a SMG semi-automatic gun. Great. Perfect. It has a lot of ammo, and it's basically just like a walking Bulwark, but Bulwark has its other advantages. Anti-Material Trooper. You get a 50 cal sniper. At close range, it instantly kills. Long range, it doesn't instantly kill, but if you hit the helmet, it instantly kills at any range. Doesn't matter. Does 500 damage up close. Flamer. You get a flame gun, flamethrower, and if you press G with your syringes, if you are Mort, it will heal it actually to full. So remember that. Radio. It applies every single officer order. You know, the little buffs that officer gives, it applies it to anybody in your area, and it'll also automatically track any opponents that are near your, near the officer or near the radio. Geist. Full-time apparition, okay? Let me talk about lanterns real quick. Lanterns are this. They are what can define an enemy and an ally. Empire has yellow. Nation has blue. If you become a Geist, basically this lantern is basically turned off. So you can't really tell if they're ever there if you're on the enemy team. They get a gun that 2 shots at close, 3 shots at range, and they have every single ability of a regular Jaeger. They also have the ability to track enemies. So if you get too close to a Geist, you will get this message that you will be being hunted and you will be tracked, meaning that they can see you through walls, and it's basically full ESP, but it can only be active on one person at a time. Trench Trooper. You get a automatic shotgun that can kill instantly at close range, except for shock kits, I think. Now, it basically gives the buff of everything of a trench trooper, impenetrable helmet, stuff like that. And it's just a very good shock to begin with. Basically, the entire stick is the big shotgun, but you also get this bayonet at the end of the kit of the shotgun. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. But you saw how my Prince had like a bayonet there. You know this normal gun bash, right? If you're playing trench, what happens is that you get this bayonet that you can swing, and it deals 300 damage, instantly killing anybody. Last but not least, we have Bulwark Trooper. I'll use this one because it's quite hard to explain. You get a light machine gun. If you press Q, you get a bipod stand. Basically, if you're using this regularly, its accuracy is kind of trash. But if you place it down on your shield, you get very good accuracy, meaning that you can just mow down people. So this is not really good at range if you're using it regularly, but at range this is actually perfect with the shield. Shield is impenetrable, so you can't break it. Actually, wait, I think you can break it, but it just takes like bombs and knives. I can't tell, but I don't think you can break it. You also get a 50% explosion damage decrease, so if you get hit by an explosion, it will do less damage. Coolio brochacho. That's about it for Bulwark Trooper. Last thing I want to talk about before we get this thing wrapped up here is Dreadnought. Now, if you're in the control game mode, meaning that, you're in the game mode with the points, if the enemy has over 300 tickets and you are down 80 tickets, meaning that you're about to lose, you will get this Dread, meaning that it is basically a boss battle. So let me just die here, and it should make me Dread. Yep, there it is. Can't. Okay. Basically, I'm a Dread now, meaning that you are stuck in first person and you have a gigantic machine gun with infinite ammo. Now, Dread has 9,000 health, and it is immune to melee attacks. And it can only happen in the control game mode. No other game mode can have a Dread. Basically, you are a mini tank, and you get infinite reinforcements if you are on the Dread's team. Meaning that, as Dread, your whole entire thing is that you need to win the game for your team, and you need to stay alive for as long as possible to abuse the infinite tickets that your team has had. Now, The biggest counter to Dread is anti-tank, because as you know, at close range, each shot of anti-tank does do 500 damage, so it is the optimal shot kit to take out Dread. Remember that. But as Dread, you're most likely going to have people around you trying to support you, and you're just a big, beefy tank that can just take out basically anything. So just know, if there's infinite reinforcements, it's either assault game mode or it's a Dread. Now, if you want to know what assault game mode is, basically attack, defense. The other game mode, tug of war, 5 points, get to C, get to D, get to E. Once you got all that, it's over. 10 minutes to shock spawns on tug of war, so remember that. And that's basically the whole gist of the entire game. Now, I won't talk about Last Stand. Last Stand is just kind of easy to understand. Protect the stronghold, all that good stuff. But that's about it for this video. Now, that's going to be the full Gravedigger guide. Now, I didn't talk about some other stuff, but those other stuff you'll learn eventually, or it's just not really too important. Just play the game and you'll get to know stuff. Last couple things I want to talk about: medals and hours. Basically, hours give you that little rank you see here, or the rank you see in the player list. And it doesn't really mean much. It just means how many hours you played. Like, I played 116 hours of this game, meaning I'm a Sergeant Major or a Grand Knight. Now, obviously, Golden Empire, Royal Nation, enemies. So if you see Golden Empire or a yellow guy, shoot him if you're on the Royal Nation. And there's also different ranks for each side. So, like, I'm a Sergeant Major here, but if I was on the Empire, I'd be a Grand Knight. Not much to say, but if you are a private, you're probably going to get clowned on if you pick a shot kit, because people automatically, you know, assume that privates are trash as a game because they just joined and they have 0 hours. Now, medals or something, these are basically just the currency in the game. 1 medal costs for every single thing in this entire shop here. I won't get into perks and stuff. You can just read them. It's very easy to understand. And guns, obviously. The only gun that I recommend that you never really use is the Kingslayer. Now, obviously, it could be a fun gun if used well, but like it said in the description, for experts only. It has to be manually reloaded and is kind of trash. So if you just started this game, I don't really recommend it, but you can play it if you want. It's quite a fun gun. It can shoot through helmets. Same with the Judgment. These are only 2 guns, actually 3 guns in the game that can actually shoot through helmets and kill people. The only other gun that can do that is the anti-tank gun, so just remember that. And that's about it for the Gravedigger guide. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you later.